What's good, YouTube? And welcome to Master Duel hitting the TCG buyout. Flying C is flying off the shelf for the ultra rare, and it has gone from like 50 cents to $3+, and it got emergency banned on the Xyz Festival as an oopsie, we forgot this card kind of thing. But you can see exactly that moment. The Xyz Festival is where this begins to take off. It's not from an event, it's not anything like that. It is straight up Master Duel and people going, that seems pretty good against Cashier. I think we might as well get the holo version while we're at it, honey. I find this absolutely hilarious, but yeah, that is spiking. You have different versions of Flying C readily available on the market, but it's the holo that is going fast. Also, speaking of Banlist, Level Eater is getting bought out here. I don't know if this is for a specific past format, so let me know if there is something there with it, but this card is just going absolutely wild, all the way bought out to $20 for the super rare. Again, there's other versions like commons to play. This is the highest rarity, and it came out of the 10 with edgeware on a lot of copies. We harp on quality control these days a lot, don't we? But back in the day, SOVR, it was like Champion Pack 5 or 6. Certain sets just had cards where they had edgeware out of the gate, and this is one of those cards that did suffer from that. So finding true near mints of this is rarer because they would come damaged out of the pack. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. We've got Battles of Legend Monstrous Revenge coming, and the pre-sales are already going up and people are discussing this. Some are very excited. I myself, I'm not the most excited about their announcement of their quarter-century rares, but who knows how many of them they could do. They could do 25 for the 25th. We really don't know what lengths Konami's willing to go with how many, 18 different Pharaoh rares was it in Mavens? They really could up the game on how many there are to pull, trying to make them even harder to get. That's all speculation at this point, which is what happens with pre-sales. You get the cheapest chance at the products, of course, using code What'sGood5 for 5% off and to support the channel directly, but you also don't know what you're really buying when you try to get those prices. Battles of Legend is one of the more exciting sets because it hasn't failed yet. It even started to dip for the last battles but ended up recovering. Let's go over some of these cards though that have been highlighted as 25th. You have Armneos and Assault Synchron, and the Synchron is cute. Maybe people will be after it. Also, Dark Arm Dragon, Dante, I kind of like Dante being there, Sky Striker, Mobilize, Engage, and its Altar Art, and then Rite of Armis here, Divine Arsenal Zeus, Welcome Labyrinth. Welcome Labyrinth is very topical. Now, the huge thing about this set release is the date. It is before the WCQ, which I've been begging for Battles to really take back that season. When it debuted, it was reprints ahead of the WCQ season. It was actually in time, and if there's no delays, this is super excellent for that. Again, delays have happened on products before, but if it comes out in June, well-timed reprints, as well as things that could actually shake up the format, that's exciting and could really help this set sell. But I really don't like that they're going with cards like Zeus that already have a Starlight rare. Dark Arm Dragon just got a Ghost rare, although a Starlight-like version, the 25th century rarity, I think is better than the Ghost rare or will perform better for this card. Rite of Armis here already has a collector rare. Dante does not have the most printings in the world. That's actually more exciting for me and for the market, it appears, as people have started to go and rush to buy higher rarity Burning Abyss stuff. You can actually see sales on Graph happening right now, as well as even Seer Gold Rare is starting to have people go towards anything that is highest rarity is suddenly getting sales for BA on the announcement. Yeah, gotta have my DUEA format in the Necros format, am I right? But with the announcement, there's excitement enough to start moving on the market and pre-sales up. So currently, I don't necessarily like the reveals, but all the best stuff for the last battles came last minute, but we didn't know any of the Starlights. So them leading with the Starlights as the selling point this time has me a little worried because I'm not the most excited about them because a lot of them are clashing versus the cards already having a high rarity at this point. But a lot of those best reveals could be saved for last. So Konami usually likes to use a set description to lead strong. But in this case, it very well could be we're going to kind of put the middle of the room out there and leave the top end and the lower end for later. We'll have to wait and see. Again, it's pure speculation, but Battles is a strong series, and it's not the worst, but it's not the best and most exciting, at least in my opinion. We have more collector rare buyouts. The purely are continuing to go even stronger. Noir, I almost say Noir every time I read it. But Expurely Noir, I struggle with it again, is barely under 6.9 nice. I'm leaving this in. Dude, whenever you're a Yu-Gi tuber and you're trying to read things off, all the time you're going to stumble, restart, and do those kinds of things. But I said that I really liked this one when I saw it on camera, actually well put out there, and that it looked really good, and I was surprised how it started out cheaper versus the other purely cards. Here it is, spiking on up. You also have the main purely going up here, and I've got to say, I was sat down and I watched some Mechanico duels. I get how y'all got so excited for this deck and really bought into it hard. It still suffers versus the current metagame, but I really do understand why people fell for it at this point. But yeah, collector rares going and starting to go back up as others fall down within the set. Sales ban for a tech in the metagame. Declare one card name for the rest of this turn. Your opponent cannot activate cards or the effective cards with the same original name as the declared card. The same restriction applies to you, but for the rest of this duel instead of just the turn. You can only activate one per turn. With this card, it's kind of similar to Prohibition, except Kashtira really just doesn't want to get in the Birud, and also Branded really doesn't want to get ashed. So a lot of people are saying these cards are being played in that you have these cards that would just end you, and you end up having to play against them as you set up your board, and that's why this card is spiking up so much within the theory of that crafting. I don't disagree, but at the same time, I kind of like Prohibition, etc. You can play this, though, also, if you lose the dice roll, going second look at something that's already face up on the board, or that would activate through the turn, and end up being able to take care of that without worrying about Prohibition being wiped off the field and not resolving since it's continuous. You have also Mirror Jade, the Ice Blade Dragon. This is one thing I gotta own. I underestimated Branded going into the format. I called it a lot of copium at times. Branded performing very, very strong, way better than I thought it would. And you see that in the market here also. The Mirror Jade Ice Blade Dragon spiking on up for the Starlight Rare as the rest of the set really kind of settles back down a little. Triple Tactic Thrust back down $5. The Kashtira stuff starting to chill out even just a hair more. And the set really affordable for what it is, as the sealed stays more spiked than it ever has been before. Lord of Heavenly Prison in combination with Labyrinth is a pretty good card. Some people choosing to play 1, 3, etc. in the top cuts. Well, I called this a penny stonk forever ago. Felt a lot like Inspector Border, that if it didn't get another reprint before it became well played, that it would end up spiking up really hard. And here we are. The Prismatic Secret Rare is already now a $6 card, as the OG Secret Rare goes even higher than that. Pre-preparation of rights, the OG Out of Shining Victories has reached some ridiculous proportions, I think, for the first edition. Like, I think it's headed towards $5-6 out here, so be aware that not even the highest rarity ultra people are going for any version of this, and I still think we should see a reprint of this on the horizon. But Ritual Hungry Burger Good Stuff has this on up. And finally, funny text speaking about Labyrinth, people are buying in the Denko Sekka, and that crept into my mind, you know, the MLG Denko Sekka Necros format videos from back in the day. Well, Secret Denko Sekka is way up here in price, up above, is it above $4? Wow, it's past the front page. Yeah, $5+ here for Secret Denko Sekka's Out of Battles of Legends Light Revenge. I haven't seen this personally perform. Let me know if it was in top cut list and I just missed it. But yeah, people buying out the text going, you know what? I got a little something for that Labyrinth player around the corner. Kind of funny. Thanks for watching today's Market Watch. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Are you going to be buying into Battles Sealed? Each year tends to do well for itself overall, but I want to actually wrap back here and say that $63 a box isn't exactly a win. I think there's a lot of good long-term value within this set specifically, and the Starlights being a surprise is what really drug it up out of being a failure, and there being so many different ones that people would end up wanting. But here they're leading with that marketing is what has me a bit worried. But being before the WCQ, if there are some star reprints or cards that actually would be played within the metagame, then I think this will be flying off the shelves, and you kind of got to guess that coin flip of where it's going to land. Again, you can use code What'sGood5 for 5% off and to support the channel directly if you are going in, but I think that's a pretty big gamble at this point.